Hi, everyone. Welcome to Everyday Real English from Real Life podcast.
Welcome to the deep dive. We sift through stacks of info, find what really matters, and we'll pull out the best bits just for you. Today, we're really getting practical. We're diving into how to navigate grocery stores and markets in English-speaking countries. We've looked at a whole bunch of guides, articles, some really great real-life conversation examples too. Basically, everything you might need, from, just walking into a big supermarket to figuring out what to say at maybe a fish counter. That's the plan, our mission. Pretty simple. Boil down the key vocabulary, find those essential phrases, and maybe uncover a few surprising details about how these places work, so you feel totally confident next time you're out shopping.
Yeah, exactly. The aim is to take those moments that can feel a bit confusing, like where on earth is the baking soda, or what does that sign mean, or even just the checkout bit, and turn them into smooth, easy interactions. We found some really useful takeaways, and actually some quite interesting bits about store design, too.
Okay, let's get into it then. So one of the first things the sources mention is just the name of the place you're shopping. It's not always the same, is it?
No, definitely not. You'll hear grocery store, that's common. Supermarket is probably the most typical, I'd say. But you might also see, like, a greengrocer, which is mostly just for fruits and vegetables.
Right. Just produce.
Yeah. And then you have huge places, superstores, or sometimes even department stores that just happen to have a big grocery section inside. And the sources also point out it's really handy just to know the names of the big local chains. People often just say, I'm going to Tesco, or I'm popping into Safeway.
Okay, knowing the brand name makes sense. And it's not just the name, the layout, the actual design of the store. The sources say that's quite deliberate.
Oh, absolutely. That's a key thing they highlight. Think about where the essentials are, fresh stuff like produce, meat, dairy. Often they're pushed to the outside aisles or way at the back.
So you have to walk past everything else to get the milk.
Pretty much. It's definitely a strategy. Increases the chances you'll spot something else you need.
A bit sneaky.
Maybe a little. And then conversely, you might find convenience foods or special offers right near the entrance to catch your eye. And the checkout lanes, well, no surprise there. They're loaded with what they call impulse buys, chocolate, magazines, little snacks.
Guilty as charged.
The stores are definitely counting on you grabbing one or two things while you wait.
Okay, so understanding the layout is step one. Good for finding things and maybe resisting temptation. Once you're inside, wow, the sources list so many different sections. What are the key areas, the must-know vocabulary?
Right, let's break it down. You've got the produce section. That's your fresh fruits, apples, bananas, grapes, oranges, and vegetables. Lettuce, carrots, onions, tomatoes. The basics.
Can't miss that one. Then there's often a deli.
Yep, the deli counter. For sliced meats, cheeses, salads, sometimes ready-made meals. Like one source mentioned smoked turkey on sale there.
And the bakery for fresh bread, cakes, muffins. Smells good, usually.
Always. Nearby, you'll usually find dairy. So milk, cheese, yogurt, and eggs are often there too, even though technically they're not dairy. Just convenient.
Good point. Then meat and seafood. This seems like a place where interactions can vary a lot.
Exactly. It's different picking up a prepackaged pack of chicken versus, say, talking to a butcher about a specific cut of beef, or asking someone at the fish counter for fresh crab or something. Different conversations happen there.
Okay. What else? Frozen food.
Frozen food aisle, definitely. Pizza, ice cream, frozen veggies, fruit, all that stuff. Then sections for grains, rice, pasta, bread if it's not in the bakery, cereal.
And snacks. Can't forget snacks.
Yeah.
Chips, cookies, candy, pretzels. The fun aisle.
Something's too fun. Then beverages, coffee, tea, water, soda, or pop in some places, right? Juice.
And alcohol is sometimes tricky, isn't it?
It really depends on the location. Some supermarkets sell beer and wine, but usually not hard liquor. For that, you often need a separate special store. One source mentioned ABC stores as an example.
Okay. We also need pantry items.
Right. Your canned goods, spices, cooking oil, condiments, ketchup, mayo, mustard, that kind of thing. And household items.
Yeah, the non-food necessities.
Yeah.
Paper towels, cleaning stuff, toilet paper, garbage bags, detergent.
Diapers, too?
And often a cosmetics or health and beauty section.
True.
Soap, shampoo, toothpaste, maybe some makeup, deodorant, basic medicines.
A little more bulk food?
Yeah, some stores have those bins. Peanuts, candy, flour, stuff like that. You bag it yourself, weigh it, choose how much you want. Pretty handy.
That is a lot of sections. And the sources also flag some, tiny pronunciation things that can make a big difference.
Oh, that's a really good point. Like the word produce for fruits and vegetables, the stress is on the first syllable. Pre-o-ro.
Not produce.
Exactly. Produce is the verb, like to make something. So pre-ro-duce section. It just sounds right.
And on sale versus for sale. Crucial.
Totally. On sale means discounted price, temporary offer. For sale just means, well, you can buy it. That little word on is key.
Got it. What else? Aisle. Ugh. Aisle. That S is totally silent. Just I-A. As in milk is in aisle 3.
Not a-cell.
Definitely not A-cell. And refrigerated can sometimes sound more like erfarigere in the fast speech. That middle T softens.
Good to know. Even grocery itself can sound a bit different, right? GR-cherie or more like GRH-cherie.
Both work. People understand either. But yeah, noticing those little things, it helps you feel a bit more comfortable, I think.
It really does. Okay, so we know the layout, we know the sections, the key words, but what if you just can't find something? How do you ask for help?
Right. This is where you need those phrases. And don't hesitate to ask. Staff are there to help, or sometimes even another shopper might point you in the right direction. Keep it simple and polite. Excuse me, have you got any item? Have you got any green tea?
Or just really direct, where do you keep items? So where do you keep the cereal?
Yeah, that works perfectly. If you want to be maybe a tiny bit more formal, or if you think you might need them to actually show you, you could say, would you mind showing me where to find item?
Like, would you mind showing me where to find the olive oil?
Exactly. Or if you've already looked around a bit, maybe start with, hi there, I can't seem to locate item.
Hi there, I can't seem to locate baking soda. Something like that.
Perfect. Those phrases are your key to getting help when you need it. They just open the door to that interaction.
Okay, so you ask, you find the item. But sometimes, especially at counters or for loose items, you need to say how much you want.
Yes, quantities. This is important at the deli, the butcher, the fish counter, or even for loose produce sometimes. You might use weight. I'd like a kilo of apples, please. Kilo is common in many places.
Or pounds in others, maybe?
Or pounds, yeah. Or maybe units like, can I get half a dozen eggs? A dozen is 12, so half is 6.
Or for prepackaged things, I need 1 pack of cheese. Simple.
Right. And if it's something sold individually, like loose bananas, you could just point and say, can I buy just 2 pieces? Or just 2 of these, please.
The sources had some specific market examples too, right? Like at a fish market.
Yeah, those were great. You hear people asking for specific fish mackerel, skipjack tuna, sea bass. The seller might ask, how much need, sir? And the customer specifies 3 kilograms. Or even big orders, like 20 kilograms for each fish. Clearly for businesses sometimes.
Wow, okay. And at a butcher.
Similar idea. The dialogue showed asking for minced meat or even asking for advice. What can you recommend? And confirming the price structure. How much for 1 kilogram? Then asking for specific things like, I'd like 2 steaks, please.
And in a regular supermarket meat section, maybe using pounds.
Could be, like, I'd like 2 pounds of ground beef, please.
Yeah.
The key thing is noticing how you ask. At a market, you might ask the price per unit, kilopound. At a deli counter, you usually just ask for the total weight you want.
That's a really useful distinction. So besides talking to people, we also need to read the signs. What are the main ones to look out for?
Signs are your silent helpers. Express checkout or express lane. That's for shoppers with just a few items. Usually says the limit, like 10 items or less.
Saves you waiting behind someone with a huge cart. What about deals?
Look for sale means a discounted price. Or the classic, buy one, get one free. Sometimes shortened to BOGO.
BOGO. Always good.
Definitely. Clearance means items are heavily reduced, often to get rid of them.
Anything about the product itself.
Yeah. Organic means grown without certain chemicals. Gluten-free, important for dietary needs. No wheat. Fresh, used for things like bread or produce made or harvested recently.
And above the checkout lanes themselves?
Simple lights or signs showing open or closed. Don't want to queue for a closed lane.
Okay, makes sense. So you've got your stuff, navigated the aisles, read the signs, maybe asked for help. Time for the final hurdle, the checkout.
Right, heading to the checkout. Or you might hear till or cash register. But checkout is pretty standard. The cashier or clerk will probably greet you. Often something simple like, did you find everything okay today? Or just, hello?
Then you put your items on the conveyor belt, let them scan everything, and then comes payment.
Yep, they'll ask how you want to pay. Is it by cash, credit, or debit card? Sometimes just shortened to cash or card.
And tapping your card or phone is pretty common now, right?
Very common, yeah. Super quick. And don't forget about store cards.
Ah, the discount cards. They always ask that.
Almost always. Do you have our discount card? Or
Yeah.
do you have the app? The sources say these are usually free to sign up for, and you need them to get those special member prices you see advertised.
So worth having if you shop there regularly, you scan the card or app before paying.
Usually, yes. Then the bag situation. This is a big one now.
They're often not free anymore, are they?
Rarely.
Oh.
Plastic or paper bags usually cost a small amount. Reusable bags are really encouraged.
So bring your own.
Best plan. Sometimes if you forget, they might offer paper ones, or maybe there are free boxes available you can use. But yeah, plan on bringing your own or paying for bags.
Okay. Then you pay, get your receipt, and you're done.
Pretty much. Oh, one small thing on the conveyor belt. Use that little divider stick. Put it after your groceries so the cashier knows where your order ends and the next person's begins.
Ah, yes, the divider stick. Simple courtesy.
Exactly. And speaking of courtesy, the sources had some really good general tips.
Politeness is key, right? Please and thank you.
Absolutely essential. Cannot overstate this. Can I get a bag, please? Thank you for your help. It just makes every interaction smoother.
What else? Make a list.
Highly recommended.
Yeah.
Keeps you focused, stops you forgetting things. And, writing it in English is actually great practice. Plus, if you're really stuck finding something, you can just show the list to a staff member.
Good idea. And just practice the phrases.
Yeah, just use simple sentences. Don't try to be too complicated. The more you use them, the more natural they'll feel. And check labels. So much info there. Ingredients, weight, organic, sale price.
And maybe have a translation app ready.
Can't hurt. Just for that one word you might blank on. Quick backup.
There was one bit of courtesy mentioned that I really liked, letting someone with just 1 or 2 items go ahead of you in the queue.
Oh yeah, that's a lovely one. If you have a full trolley and someone behind just has milk, saying you can go ahead of me is considered really nice. Common courtesy, as the sources called it.
It just makes the whole experience a bit nicer for everyone, doesn't it?
Definitely. All these little things, the phrases, the tips, they add up to feeling much more confident.
And the sources even included some dialogue snippets to show it all in action.
Yeah, the fish market ones were interesting because they showed that slightly different dynamic, asking about specific fish, asking price per kilo, specifying weight, even asking for a discount, like, can I get some discount, sir?
A bit more back and forth than just grabbing a box off the shelf.
Exactly. And then the supermarket dialogue showed those everyday bits. Sorry, where do I get the eggs? Or the standard checkout flow, find everything okay, cash or card. Just reinforces those basic patterns.
Wow. Okay. So we've really walked through the whole grocery trip, haven't we? From figuring out the store itself, the words for everything, asking where things are, how much you need.
Reading the signs, handling the checkout, and all those little tips on being polite and prepared. It can genuinely take the stress out of shopping and really boost your confidence.
Yeah, it can shift it from being maybe a bit of a chore or slightly intimidating to something much more manageable, maybe even enjoyable sometimes.
And what's really interesting when you look at it all together is realizing how much language helps you not just find things, but also understand the system of the store itself.
That's true. Knowing the phrases, being polite, it makes every interaction just work better.
It really does.
Yeah.
Which brings up kind of an interesting final thought. We talked about how stores are designed, the layout, the impulse buys near the till, the way sales are presented. It's all quite strategic, as the sources point out. So the question is, how does knowing the language, having these tools, help you not just get by in the store, but maybe shop a bit more consciously, a bit smarter? How does it help you navigate those strategies they're using?
That's a great question to ponder. How does language empower you beyond just asking for directions? Something to think about on your next shopping run. Thanks so much for joining us on this deep dive into the language of grocery shopping. We really hope you feel better equipped now. Give some of these phrases a try next time you're out stocking up.
Thanks for watching. We've prepared a free PDF with all the essential expressions and tips from today's episode.
Make sure to like, subscribe, and grab your download.